In Puzzled Gaze, you control all the mini games inside with eye tracking. And one of the features I have currently is a user presence detection. So if the bar cannot see your eyes, the UI Tobii bar, then a pause screen will show up and the game in the background will not play. Once you return, so if I remove this, it starts tracking my eyes again and everything resumes. There's an exit button and a play button and a settings. If I click on settings, there's two main options, eye tracking and bubble visual. Bubble visual turns off the visual, but I can still Tobii eye track. So look at bubble visual again. And to toggle and click on buttons and stuff, you use the spacebar. So if I click eye tracking, disabling that means my eyes are now doing nothing. So to reactivate it, you would have to use the mouse, but that's it to give the option to not use eye tracking. So turn it on again. And there's also a customize bubble. So if I click here, this allows you to change the color and the alpha. So here's a preview of it with blank screens. Then if you change blue, and all of these settings will be saved to the player breaths, which means if I left the game and it will come back, it will continue with the exact same settings I had. So if I had the Tobii eye tracking on, what colours I wanted the bubble, and whether the bubble is actually active. A shortcut I have on the keyboard is the K button, which disables the bubble. So let's turn it back on. Back. So now put that in the middle again. There we go. If we click play, there's 3 mini games. There's Simon Says, a no eye contact game, and a falling objects game. Okay, we guess we're starting with this game. In this game, you have to look at the robot without him detecting you. This bar on the right shows how angry the robot is because you're just being rude and staring at them. So if you see, when I'm looking at him, his eyes flicker red. When the eyes are closed, he can't see you, therefore he can't get angry. If you notice, both these UI bars, they get faded when I'm not looking at them. This is a feature called Clean UI, which means if you're not looking at an object, it will fade. And this is very useful for when... So this feature is very useful for when you are on some games where there will be a lot of UI on the screen at once. Instead of having it all clustered and you get small viewing of the actual game, it will disable or fade out some of the items, so it lets you just see the actual game itself. And if you want to look at information such as how much health you have, you look where the health bar usually is and it will appear. So click exit, and clicking exit returned me back to the main menu. So click play. Let's do Simon Says now. So in this game, you have to look at the center button. So I'll keep my hands up, and it will flash a color. You have to look at that color for half a second. And now the red dot's back, so I look back there. So yellow, yellow. So if I look at yellow, if you notice, it's now grey. That means I can't double click, which means I can't just keep staring at it and it won't count it as another 4 clicks. So if I look back and then go on there, it flickered and the red dot's back. So red, blue, blue. I'm going to get this one wrong to show there's a game over screen. So green, game over. So click the button retry, you click space. So now let's complete this blue, green and green. green, 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 green. I promise you this is random. Red, green, yellow, green. Red, green, yellow, green. If you notice, it's quite accurate, and part of that is to do with having the buttons quite large. Oh, there you go. There's the user presence not detecting me. So getting back to exit, play, and the final game is a falling game where the goal is to catch the yellow balls but dodge the red ones. You have to get up to 5. Is it red? Oh. And the balls will keep falling for a bit. Then retry. Yellow, yellow. Oh. Out of all the games, I think this is the most difficult. Oh. Hey. And that's all 3 games. And if I were to click exit, it will leave the game.